Welcome to the Secure Circle Show, where we empower you with the knowledge to protect yourself against fraud, identity theft, and cyber threats. In this podcast, we delve into the critical issues surrounding cybersecurity in our increasingly digital world. Each episode features insightful discussions, expert interviews, and actionable tips that will help you and your loved ones stay safe online. From understanding the latest scams to learning how to secure your personal information, our goal is to create a community that prioritizes cybersecurity. Whether you're a seasoned tech enthusiast or just starting your journey to online safety, the Secure Circle Show is here to guide you. Let's jump in.
Let's face it, navigating our modern lives means we're constantly facing potential bumps in the road, and, well, one of the more serious ones is the very real threat of identity theft. This isn't just some minor inconvenience. It can really throw your financial world into chaos and create a huge amount of stress.
Absolutely.
So for this deep dive, we're tackling a critical area: how you actually recover if you become a victim of identity theft.
Exactly. And we're going to delve into a really practical, very important guide by Adebayo Adepoju. It lays out the crucial steps you need to take to regain control when your personal information has been compromised.
Right.
Think of this as, your shortcut to understanding a tough situation and knowing exactly what to do.
Precisely. We know your time is valuable and you want the essential information without getting sort of bogged down in all the details.
Yeah.
Our goal here is to pull out those key actionable insights, the things you absolutely need to know to feel informed and, well, ready to act if the unthinkable happens. Okay, so the first step, as Adebayo points out, is actually realizing you've been targeted. It's not always some big obvious event, is it? Sometimes it's the subtle clues we might miss.
That's so true. Spotting the signs early is it's vital for limiting the damage. And Adebayo's guide highlights some very specific red flags. These might seem like, small issues on their own, but when you put them together, they can paint a pretty concerning picture.
Like those random little charges on your bank statement that you can't remember making. I know I've dismissed those before.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, it's just an error.
Exactly that. Even those seemingly tiny, unauthorized transactions on your bank or credit card statements should make you pause and, investigate.
Okay.
Then there are the unexpected bills or collection notices for things you never purchased. That's a pretty clear indicator something's wrong.
And what about suddenly getting turned down for credit? That's always a frustrating surprise.
Yes, a sudden credit denial could very well be linked to a negative credit history that you don't recognize at all. This often means someone has been opening accounts using your info and just not paying the bills.
Right.
Another sign Adebayo mentions, which isn't always obvious, is missing mail. It's not just an inconvenience,
Missing mail. I wouldn't have immediately thought of that in connection with identity theft. How does that work?
Well, it makes sense when you think about their strategy, right? Identity thieves might try to change your mailing address.
Oh, I see.
So they can intercept your bills and other important documents. This gives them more time to rack up charges or open more accounts before you even realize what's happening.
Sneaky.
Very. And then, of course, those notifications from your bank or credit card company about suspicious activity, pay close attention to those.
Yeah.
They're often the first alert that something isn't quite right.
That's a really good reminder. They're not just annoying alerts to swipe away. And it's not just about your finances, is it? Adebayo also touches on how identity theft can affect your medical records and even your taxes.
Precisely. You might start receiving medical bills for treatments you never got, or you could find, incorrect information in your medical history. Weird stuff.
Wow.
And a particularly alarming one is getting a notice from the IRS about unreported income or a rejection of your tax return because someone else has already filed using your social security number.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
What's really key here is the variety of ways identity theft can show up. Recognizing these specific patterns is that crucial first step in taking back control.
Okay.
So let's say those alarm bells are ringing for you. What should you do immediately? Adebayo really stresses the need for quick action here.
Okay, so you suspect your identity's been stolen. First thing, you need to get the authorities involved, right? Police.
Absolutely. Adebayo recommends reporting the identity theft to your local law enforcement agency. It's important to provide them with all the documentation you have, bank statements, credit reports, any letters or emails that seem fishy.
And getting a copy of that police report is really important, isn't it? Why is that? Exactly.
Well, the police report isn't just a piece of paper. It creates an official record that says, yes, this person is a victim.
Okay.
This can be absolutely crucial when you start disputing those fraudulent accounts and charges. Many creditors, they'll require this documentation as proof that you're not responsible for the debt.
Makes sense.
And for more significant financial losses, or if you suspect maybe a larger criminal operation is involved, Adebayo also suggests considering contacting the FBI or the Internet Crime Complaint Center. That's the IC3.
Right, the IC3. Okay. That makes sense for those more serious situations.
Mm-hmm.
What about our money? Our banks, credit card companies, they need to know right away, don't they?
Oh, without a doubt, immediately. Contact your banks and credit card companies straight away.
Right.
Inform them about the unauthorized transactions and request to freeze or even close the compromised accounts.
Freeze or close. Got it.
They'll often issue you new account numbers and new cards. And as Adebayo wisely advises, it's so important to keep a detailed record of every single communication, the date, the time, the name of the representative you speak with.
Like a logbook.
Exactly. That log can be invaluable later on.
So detailed documentation is really going to be your best friend through all of this. Now, what about our credit reports? I know there are a couple of things you can do there to protect yourself further.
Yes, you have two very effective tools available: fraud alerts and credit freezes.
Okay.
To place a fraud alert, you only need to contact one of the three major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. Doesn't matter which one.
Just one.
Just one to start. This initial alert lasts for a year and basically tells creditors, hey, take extra steps to verify this person's identity before opening any new accounts. The bureau you contact is then responsible for letting the other two know.
Ah, okay, so it triggers a chain reaction.
Pretty much. It's a relatively simple step that adds a decent layer of security.
That sounds like a good, relatively easy first move. And the credit freeze. That offers even stronger protection, doesn't it? How does that work?
Yeah, a credit freeze is like the next level up.
Yeah.
It essentially restricts access to your credit report for opening new credit, locks it down.
Locks it down. Okay.
This makes it significantly harder for identity thieves to open new accounts because creditors typically need to check your credit report before approving anything new.
So they just can't see it.
Pretty much, unless you unfreeze it. When you need to apply for credit yourself, you can temporarily lift the freeze. It's a bit more involved than a fraud alert, maybe a bit more hassle day to day, but it definitely offers a higher level of security.
Right, a little more effort for potentially greater peace of mind. Okay, so after alerting everyone, you need to see the extent of the damage, right? That's where actually looking at your credit reports comes in.
Exactly. Adebayo points you to annualcreditreport.com. That's the official site where you can get free credit reports from all three major bureaus: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, once every year.
Annualcreditreport.com.
Got it. It's crucial to carefully review these reports. Look for any accounts you don't recognize, inquiries you didn't authorize, any addresses that aren't yours. Basically, any discrepancies.
To make a list.
Make a detailed list of any fraudulent activity you find. It's like conducting your own personal audit, really.
It really is like detective work. But as you said, it's your own life you're investigating. Now, in today's world, our online lives are so tied to our identities. What immediate steps should we be taking there to secure those digital doors?
Securing your online accounts is absolutely vital, non-negotiable.
Right.
This means immediately changing the passwords for your online banking, your email, and all other sensitive accounts. Everything.
And not just any password.
No. Adebayo emphasizes using strong, unique passwords. The drill, combination of uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, symbols, and critically enable two-factor authentication, often called 2FA, wherever it's offered. Please turn it on.
That second code thingy.
Yeah, that extra layer of security, usually requiring a second form of verification, like a code sent to your phone besides just your password. It makes a huge difference.
That little extra step can really be a game changer, security-wise. And as Adebayo keeps stressing, and you've mentioned too, it's crucial to document everything.
It really cannot be overstated. Keep a thorough record of every incident, every phone call, every email, every piece of mail related to the identity theft. Note the dates, times, who you spoke to, what was said.
Everything.
Everything. This detailed documentation will be invaluable when you're disputing fraudulent charges or accounts and when you're providing information to law enforcement. Trust me on this.
Okay, so we've covered those immediate actions. Now, Adebayo's guide really underscores why just ignoring this situation is simply not an option. You can't bury your head in the sand.
No, absolutely not. It's natural maybe to want to ignore something stressful like this, but the consequences can be really, really damaging.
Like what specifically?
Well, first, the longer you wait to take action, the greater the potential financial loss. Unauthorized transactions can pile up fast, and recovering those funds, it becomes a much more difficult, much more drawn-out process the longer you wait.
Okay, so the money aspect gets worse.
Definitely. Then there's the significant damage to your credit score. Unpaid, fraudulent accounts can lead to defaults, collections, making it incredibly hard to secure loans, rent an apartment, maybe even get certain jobs in the future. Your credit takes a massive hit.
The impact on your credit score alone sounds like a huge headache to resolve. But Adebayo also brings up potential legal complications, which is something I think many people might not immediately think about.
This is a really critical point, and maybe a bit scary. If someone uses your stolen identity to commit crimes, you could potentially find yourself facing legal trouble. Maybe even things like arrest warrants or court appearances for stuff you didn't do. It can happen. The guide even mentions a report from the Bureau of Justice Statistics that found only about, 7% of identity theft victims actually reported it to law enforcement back in 2021.
Only 7%. Wow.
Yeah, it's low. And while that might be understandable, maybe people feel helpless or embarrassed, not reporting it can actually worsen potential legal complications down the line if you are wrongly implicated in something.
Wow, okay. That really highlights why taking official action is so important, even if it feels like a huge hassle.
Exactly. And beyond all the tangible losses, the money, the credit, the potential legal stuff, there's also the emotional toll this kind of violation takes.
Oh, absolutely. The stress must be immense.
It is. The stress and anxiety that come with identity theft can have a significant impact on your mental well-being. Delaying action only allows that stress to build and become even more overwhelming.
Yeah.
Plus, as Adebayo points out, the longer you wait, the more complex and difficult the entire recovery process becomes. Gathering evidence, disputing charges, it all gets much harder with the passage of time.
Makes sense. Things get muddy.
Exactly. And perhaps one of the most concerning consequences of not taking action is simply the increased vulnerability. If you don't take those steps to secure your identity after a breach, you basically remain an easier target for further exploitation.
It's like leaving the welcome mat out for them, saying, come on back.
Pretty much, yeah. Not good.
Yeah. Okay, so you've taken those initial critical steps. You're starting to get a handle on things. What does the long-term picture look like? Keeping an eye on your information moving forward.
Right. Long-term monitoring is absolutely essential to help prevent future problems or catch them quickly if they happen again.
So it's not a one-and-done fix.
Definitely not. Adebayo emphasizes the ongoing importance of regularly checking your credit reports, even after the initial crisis seems over. You can continue to use annualcreditreport.com.
Still once a year.
At least once a year. If you suspect ongoing issues or, if you've been significantly impacted, you might consider checking them more frequently.
Okay. And there are services available that can help with this continuous monitoring, aren't there? Like paid services.
Yes, absolutely. Credit monitoring services can be incredibly beneficial. They essentially watch your credit files for you and provide alerts about changes like if a new account is open or if there are significant changes in your credit score.
So they give you a heads up.
Exactly. Adebayo also discusses identity theft protection services, which often offer even broader monitoring capabilities. They might scan, like the dark web, various online platforms, court records, looking for your personal information being misused.
Going beyond just credit reports.
Right. And many of these services also provide assistance with the recovery process if you experience another incident. They often have experts who can help guide you.
He mentions a few specific examples in the guide: LifeLock, Identity Guard, Experian Identity Works, and Identity Force. What kind of features do these types of services typically include?
Well, they generally offer a combination of things. This includes monitoring your personal info across a wide range of places, sending you alerts if suspicious activity pops up, often providing some level of identity theft insurance, which can help cover financial losses or expenses.
Oh, insurance is interesting.
Yeah, and offering dedicated recovery assistance. So having specialists help you navigate the complex process if you do become a victim again. For instance, Adebayo highlights LifeLock's $1 million service guarantee for certain stolen funds and personal expenses.
Wow. Okay. It sounds like investing in one of these services could offer a significant amount of reassurance, especially after you've been hit once.
It definitely can, yeah, for peace of mind.
So you're monitoring things, you're staying vigilant. What about the actual long-term recovery, like fixing the damage and getting your financial life and, frankly, your peace of mind back on track?
Yeah, long-term recovery requires sustained effort and focus. If your credit has been damaged, rebuilding it is obviously a key priority.
How do you even start?
Well, it's the basics, but they're crucial. Consistently paying all your bills on time, actively working to reduce any existing legitimate debt, and being cautious about opening lots of new credit accounts until your score starts to improve.
Stay slow and steady.
Very much so. Adebayo even suggests considering working with a reputable credit counselor. They can offer guidance on managing your finances and specifically on rebuilding your creditworthiness after something like this.
That's good advice. And staying informed about the evolving threats is really important too, isn't it? The tactics these criminals use seem to change all the time.
Oh, constantly. Continuously educating yourself on the latest identity theft tactics and the best prevention strategies, that's going to be your strongest long-term defense. In this area, knowledge truly is power. Keep learning.
Absolutely.
And finally, Adebayo underscores the importance of utilizing the resources that are out there, specifically designed to provide support. Don't try to go it alone.
Like the Identity Theft Resource Center, the ITRC, and the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. What kind of help do they offer?
Organizations like the ITRC and the FTC offer just invaluable guidance, support, and a wealth of resources, specifically for victims of identity theft.
So they know what you're going through.
Exactly. They can provide assistance with both the immediate recovery steps, telling you who to call, what forms to fill out, and they also offer advice on how to prevent future incidents. They're really there to help you navigate what is, undoubtedly, a difficult situation.
This has been incredibly helpful and really informative. As Adebayo points out, dealing with identity theft can feel just overwhelming.
Totally.
But having a clear understanding of the steps involved and knowing what actions to take, it can be really empowering.
Yeah.
You definitely come away from this deep dive with a much clearer picture of what needs to be done.
Exactly. And hopefully you now have a solid grasp of the essential actions and the long-term strategies for navigating identity theft recovery. That really puts you in a much better position to be well-informed on this very, very important issue.
So as you go about your day today, maybe take a moment to think about this. What proactive steps can you take right now to better protect your personal information? It's not just about knowing what to do if something happens. It's also about building up those defenses before that potential digital storm even begins to gather.